Hello everyone, welcome to our Let's Play series of Pathfinder Kingmaker. This is Colonel RPG as usual, and I'm very happy that you chose to join me today as we have a chat with Arsino. She was, he was talking to that citizen that was leaving us. We have talked to Verdell last episode. We've basically been everywhere at this point. I have to go so long. Oh, that wasn't marked as done? It's interesting. Let's have a chat with Arsino. A woman in rich gold-embroidered clothes greets you with a polite bow. Her eyes, the color of molten gold, shine brightly in her dusky face. Greetings, noble ruler of these lands. My name is Arsino. I'm a messenger from the Temple of Abadar in Wabsalom, and I came here assuming the citizens of your young barony could use the service of a priest. Oh, that is appreciated. I mean, it's better than harem for sure. I assume. Wait a minute, Abadar, that's the god cities. Abadar apparently is the god cities. No, it's the god of the city. Sorry, I'm seeing the wrong thing. The god of walls and ditches. And for Absalom, oh, you've heard about Absalom. It's been the city at the center of the world. So what services do you offer? I can sell you various divine spell scrolls. If you don't have anyone in your group to read them, don't worry while you are in this settlement, or indeed any place with a cleric willing to help. All you need is to open your bag and choose the scroll with the spell you want to cast. I'll read it for you. However, be careful out there in the wilderness. A scroll is useless without someone who can read it. To use a scroll during a journey, you need a spellcaster whose magic gives access to the spell on it, or anyone skilled in using magic devices. Yeah, I think we might be okay on that, or maybe not. I suppose I could use the help of a cleric. That is precisely why I'm here. No, I don't need it right now. I'm okay, I'm all good. She does have a lot of spells. A lot of spells. Look at all this. Resist Sonic. I mean, who can do that? I can't. Anyway, tell me about Abadar. With pleasure. Abadar is the god of cities, law, merchants, and wealth. The core of his teachings is simple. Law and order allow civilizations to develop, which allows people to live in peace and prosperity. If Era still favors old customs, small settlements, and simple trades like hunting, then Abadar patronizes development, complex trades, order, and entrepreneurship. I see. Each priest of Abadar finds something personal in serving him. Some believe the law is the main aspect of their faith, and they guard it zealously. Others put the well-being of their society above all. I personally follow Abadar's teachings to say civilization must penetrate the wildest savage lands and help people live in comfort and safety. Oh, so it's like a colonialist god sort of thing, maybe. Or at least she's taking it to be like that. Well, it's a good thing, because that's what we're doing in this game, I think. Well, not really. Well, I don't know. I don't know. So you're an Aasimar, and I don't mean it as an insult. I'm sorry. Am I correct? I suppose it's easy to tell, isn't it? She says. Is it? I don't know. Yes, I'm an Aasimar, though I'm not sure how or when the blood of the Celestials appeared in my city. Among all my relatives and known ancestors, I'm the only one who inherited it. I must admit, I'm glad this lot fell to me. It draws more attention to me, a useful trait for a priest who wishes to gather a congregation. I would love to know what this trait is, because this wasn't described to me before, I don't think. How did you come to be in my barony? I'm gonna zoom in and try to check a little bit closer. Oh, that's a long story, and not a terribly exciting one. I was born and raised in Absalom, but I saw a little point in staying there. What's the purpose in promoting the faith of Abadar in a city already so large and well-developed? No, I was, especially not with your kind of attitude towards it, certainly not. No, I was drawn to backwater places where civilization was just beginning to emerge. It gives me such joy to see first stones of a new settlement being laid, or to see wilderness that once harbored monsters and criminals become a safe, cozy home for people. I've devoted my life to my travels, choosing to visit people like your barony. Allow me to say it's a place after my own heart. I do hope so. A city growing over the remains of a bandit lord's lair is exactly the sort of triumph of civilization Abadar prescribes. Triumph of civilization. I hope my skills as a priest will be of service to these lands and their denizens. Well, if you're so eager to help the citizens, why do you charge for your services? Well, that's a stupid question. I'm not gonna ask that, because the answer is pretty obvious. Especially with her attitude. Wait a minute, let's see. She says that's the one. So, say civilization must penetrate. No, but she has a particular thing over here. Yeah, so basically, there's different sort of attitudes. Some more towards the old customs, small settlements, and simple trades like hunting. Hunting is not a trade. Or maybe, wait a minute, that's not the trade she's talking about. Because then she says complex trades. And for some reason, I thought it was trading, because she says merchants. But it might be, you know, trading in hunting skins and stuff like that. But I don't think that's what it is. Entrepreneurship is probably what she means by that. But yeah, at any rate, she's more towards... I think she's more towards the latter, and that's why. But I'm not going to ask that, because that is honestly insulting. So I'm not going to upset her. I don't think it would upset her, to be fair. But on we go. We need to go into a tavern. We have a tavern right here. No, that's a house. Do we not have a tavern? Have I been to all the houses? I think I have. Let's not go there. Let's just see. We got horsies. They're not making terrible noise. We have Verdel, and we have all the talks. We have Octavia and Ragongar up there, and Tristan. Valerie up here. Did I talk to Valerie? Oh, yeah, that's right. That is right. So I need to go over there. That's what I was remembering. I think, anyway. We'll see what happens. So I want to check on Valerie up here. I want to make sure that she's good to go. Or that she's not good to go. I want to make sure she's there, and I talk to her as much as I could. So we got Valerie over here. So which one? Oh, it's Tristan. Yeah, I talked to her. Hey, how's it going? Yep, thank you. Bye. Let's see where we're going next, because this is into the Capital Tavern. The Capital Tavern. There's many taverns, but only one is the capital. And this is the one. There we go. Healing spells are deadly to undead creatures. They are. I've incurred into this problem a couple of times before throughout this Let's Play. So, yeah. Is this the tavern that we're going in? This is a big tavern. Loading screen is enormous. It is the tavern. Look at that. The tavern that we were looking at. We got a lot of citizens. We got Amiri over there. We have more citizens all over the place. And we have Anoriel 8 Eyes. 8 Eyes? How come? Also didn't look at up close to at the priest. Should have done that. And we have Alina. I also have something back here. What is that? A beer mug inn. I suppose. I mean, I'm the boss over here, so that's mine. Let's have a chat with Anne-Marie. So she's just hanging out over here. Maybe. Oh, that's another. No, that's a ranger or something. Hey, chief. What's on your mind? Nothing. Nothing. Anoriel 8 Eyes. Hey, you're the local baroness now, right? Congratulations. The Stag Lord was a real bastard. It's a good thing you killed him. Sometimes justice still triumphs, right? For what it's worth, I've decided to move to the capital. Living at Oleg's is, horribly boring. But here, look around. I can feel the rhythm of life. Anoriel, I'm sorry. I forgot about the 8 Eyes bit of your name. And, yeah, that's why I was like, who's that? I got a kitty. Behind the inn's bar stands a young woman with curly red hair, a round face, and rosy cheeks. She gives you a friendly smile, fixing her cap. Oh, it's so nice of you to stop by, Your Grace. I'm Alina, the innkeeper. Tell me about yourself. I'd be happy to, Your Grace. I love to talk, especially about myself. Oh, yeah? Where are you from? What land? Which family? Oh, I hail from the Reaver Kingdoms. Artum, to be precise. I'm from a farming family, like just about everybody from around here. There's more fertile land and pasture there than anywhere in the Reaver Kingdoms, except for maybe 7 archers. The folks who grow crops and tend cattle are well respected there, but at the same time they live in constant danger. There's too many bad people, too lazy to work all day, but don't mind taking other... Oh, there's too many bad people who are too lazy to work all day and don't mind taking other people's things. Just, that sounds a little bit better. But yes, it's not that it's badly written, it's just that I didn't say it properly. Anyway, why did you decide to become an innkeeper? I was bored. Please don't get me wrong, I was fine at Father's farm, and I've got nothing but respect for farmers' work. But in our back country, you could go half a year without seeing one new face. No news, nothing happening. I've dreamed of working at an inn since I was a child. That's the kind of place where there's always lots of guests and stories. I suppose. Where does the inn's name come from? We didn't read it, but yeah. Oh, don't ask. It's too funny. I kept thinking about what name to pick, choosing just the right one, but not one to waste time. I drew a beer mug on the door. I figured folks would just see it and come on in, so the locals got used to calling the place the Beer Mug Inn. So the name stuck. Actually, don't know. This is I mean, sure, it's the story. But I wonder how exactly in a medieval world, and even in a modern world in certain places, not so much with commercial establishments, or maybe not so much with commercial establishments, but maybe even 50 years ago or a little bit longer than, a little bit before that, in some places of the world, how exactly does a place like this come by a name? Because I know, like, in my, where I live, like, Portugal, I'm from Portugal, if you don't know, Europe in general, sort of, you go from place to place without really passing, like, kilometers and kilometers of wilderness, or just not having houses nearby or anything. So it's all basically from where I live to the capital, which is like 300 kilometers away or more. It's just you go through and there's always houses, so there's always houses. If you want to go in the the local roads, what I mean by saying that is that where I live, even though I'm still connected to the city, this is basically a village. It's a little village, not even a village. It's like a little, small little place. And there's farms and there's local folklore and all that sort of stuff. In a very European style, of course, not so much as you'd expect from other parts of the world, I suppose. But I do wonder, because my grandmother, who lived in this house for the vast majority of her life, she got a name that wasn't given to her, and in fact, even the sort of the square or the plaza or whatever that is in front of my house, which is like a little bit of a wider part of the road, basically, has her name because she lived in the house that's right at the front of that, and people still call it that name, even though my grandmother passed away. Probably going on for 15 years now, and the name was not picked by her. So I don't know how it would work for establishments, especially when you have a monopoly. Would you really? That's another thing. Would you really care to? It's just the inn. It's the inn. It just doesn't really matter. And actually, now that I think about it, I have a little cafe that's about 100 meters from my house, and nobody ever uses the name of the cafe. It's got a name. It's right there on a little. It's not a beer mug, of course. It's a little thing that says the name, and nobody uses it. Everybody says either it's the sort of the lower cafe, because there's another one further up the road, literally up the hill, and the one up the hill used to have a different name. Now it has the name that everybody calls it, which is just the name of the family who runs it, or used to run it in that case, actually. Which is funny, because when they actually ran it, they didn't call it that name, and then they changed it. Anyway, I wonder. Anyway, tell me about the River Kingdoms. A month wouldn't be long. What? Oh yeah. A month wouldn't be long enough to tell it all, Your Grace. Each kingdom is a special place all its own. Elves live in one of them. Another one, half the country, belongs to the Murderers Guild, which is a very nice name. Speaking of names, that is one name that she capitalized it. She doesn't. It's not lowercase murderer. It's capital case. That's what they go by. And the other half gives them their orders. They say they even get locals discounts. That's just one thing that unites us all, like a strong thread keeps a quilt together. It's the Six River Freedoms. SRF. Sure. What do you mean by that? Oh yeah, the first freedom. It is a real thing. The first freedom, say what you will, I leave free. Okay, this is like freedom of speech, I suppose. It doesn't mean you won't get beaten up for what you say, though. Well, that's not freedom of speech, then. Right? Or is it? That's an interesting question. The second freedom, well, you can call it a freedom. Oath breakers die. Those who break oaths get killed just like that, so people prefer not making any oaths at all. Boy, you guys are brutal. brutal thing, a brutal place. The third freedom: walk any road, float any river. Once the ruler of Abar decided to build a gate across the river and collect a fee from each passing boat. Well, there's no more Abar. The fourth, so she goes on. The fourth freedom is even worse than the second one. Courts are for kings. Whatever a king says goes. Oh, so it's not rule of law. Okay. Well, I guess you'd figure, right? That's interesting that they would... Courts are for kings. That is such a weird... Is this canon in Pathfinder, or is this made for this game? Anyway, well, as long as he doesn't say to build a gate across a river... Why didn't you build... Have you not been to London? They literally have a... Is that... There's a bridge that has the name of a gate. Or is it a tower? It's a tower. Sorry, not a gate. I'm sorry. I don't know London. I have never been to London, so... What do I know? Now for the fifth. Slavery is an abomination. Nothing to explain there. Runaway slaves from all over come to us for a reason. It's the fifth freedom. The sixth. You have what you hold. It means that theft is a much worse crime than robbery. Wait, what? What's the difference? If you catch my drift, is it? I don't... What? You can honestly beat a robber and keep what's yours, but a thief acts on the quiet. The distinction is lost on me here, to be honest. Shame on him. That's just disrespectful. Sure, whatever you say, Elena. Also, let me just go back to this. To this first freedom. When I said it is a question, it is a difficult question. Freedom of speech in general. In our Western world, it just tends to do with the government more than anything else. And of course, you're not. You know, like if you say, "Hey, bring me a cake," there's consequences to that. Bring me a cake. If you say, "Hey, you're an idiot," there's also consequences. People probably are not gonna like you. So that's probably what it's being mimicked here. I just took it to in a different direction. But anyway, thank you, I suppose. Show me what you have. That was a long rant that she went on, and of course I immediately went on another regarding the 6 freedoms. Was it 6 freedoms? Yeah, I suppose. That distinction of thieves and robbers... I suppose it's like pickpockets and... armed robbery? Or is it like home robbers and armed robbers? Like, home robbers, I suppose, can also rob the house while people are at home. Is that the distinction that's being made there? Because honestly, that would make some sense. Though, you own what you hold is weird, though. That just wouldn't work. I don't think any of those freedoms actually were thought before they made up the story of the place. They were just thought after, and then the consequences be damned. Jathal is here, though. Jathal, hey, speak, she says. No, I'm not gonna speak for right now. What do I have? The notes of a traveling priest. You guys, of course, can go ahead and pause. I don't know if any of these books are online. I don't know. I haven't seen the wiki for this game, so of course, if you are curious. And then I told him, says the kid. Yeah. So he told what? So he told me. The kid said. Let's just rob some things while they're up there talking. What do I have over here? The Battle in the Valley of Fire. Cooking Almanac of the Inner Sea. And Chronicles of Blades. The game is very quiet right now. Diamond Dust. Can I talk to you, fellas? Fishing at Silverstep is better, but Tuskwater has its charm too, he says to his Baroness. The first thing. I can't go into all the doors. It's kind of a interesting thing that I even went into the other one. I might have mistaken it for a locked door. Okay, got a ladle. What is it? No, it's a pipe. Also, I don't know if it's a ladle or a ladle. That one is okay. I'll take all of that. We got some things in here. Oh, by the way, I also need to do something else before... There's so many things to do. We have so many things to do. But before we leave, if we are going to leave, and we are going to leave, because I think there's somebody that has a mission for me. Didn't they have a mission for me? What? No, just shut up. But anyway, yeah, before we leave, we need to pick up all the special items that I collected, all the, like, the little old coins and leaves that are magical or whatnot. I have them in my little stash in the throne room. Or, I don't know if it's a throne room. Is it a throne room? I don't know how they are called. They would have a name. I'm pretty sure throne room is not a normal designation. Of course you can call it that, but it's not the point of the room in medieval castles, which this is not. This could be a keep. I mean, it's not fortified, so it's not a keep, it's just a house. So what would it be called, actually, this place? And then again, technically keeps don't need to be fortified. They do need to belong in a castle, otherwise they wouldn't be called keeps. And of course, I'm saying keeps, but that is the English definition. If you go into the French or the Italian and the Portuguese, they have different definitions for different things. Like Portuguese make a distinction between different towers, and the keep is not actually called a keep. So, well, that's like an English word. Of course, it's not. It's called a tower. And the French have a similar word as well, but they then have another one for the bigger tower, which the Portuguese don't call it like that. The bigger tower is always always called the bigger tower. We don't have the distinction for the bigger tower, which is the donjon. Well, that's throughout a period of time. Anyway, let's take all of this stuff. Ooh, we got phylactery. Okay, so how do I take that? Double click. Sure. Okay, I'll take all... Oh, what the heck just happened? Okay, what is this thing? Ancient Cyclops coin. Probably want that. What is this thing? Well, yeah, so that's the antiquities. And these are... It all says antiquities. That's interesting. In the description. That's a different thing. I'll collect all, though. I'll collect all and see what that is all about. So, yeah, I'm probably not going to store too many things in there, to be honest. I've been saying to be fair a whole lot recently. I'm trying to drop that. Not in this Let's Play, but just generally, and I don't want to go away, because repetition is the enemy of everybody, including my enemy. So... I found the shards of an ancient artifact. Can you restore it for me at the anvil? May I? The storyteller gently touched the item from her pack. I forgot his voice. This scorched piece of metal is a part of a curious artifact known as the Necklace of Double Crosses. Inside it I sense a story of many deeds, not heroic, but low and maleficent. Maleficent. I know what that is. I'm not sure. Is that an English word? Malevolous is the correct, or the normal word anyway. Maleficent probably also works. If you find all of its fragments, I will be able to restore the artifact and recount its inglorious story. Hey, I didn't... Aw. I brought some relics. Are any of worth a story? How interesting. May I, Your Grace? He gently touches the items on my backpack. A coin from a non-existent country. When Coral the Conqueror... Also, yeah, you don't... Coins are not attached to countries. They're attached to coiners. To what? They have a name, actually. I don't remember. I remember seeing the name in a game called Pillars of the Earth. It's also a book. But you can have coins that are from baronies and from smaller places. You can have many minted coins in different things. Anyway, when Coral the Conqueror mastered Rosland, having claimed it for Brevoy, he prohibited the issuance... Yes, the coining, I suppose, and use of such coins. Both ordinary folk and the Aldori sword lords were required to use new coins, decorated with Coral's profile. But no one was quick to be rid of these prohibited coins. Oh no! In many houses, they still store boxes and wall chests of such coins, waiting for the day when Rosland declares its independence. That's quite an investment right there. Of course, here they wouldn't get rid of them. They would melt them into new coins. They would make new coins. But that's, I guess we're pretending that the coins are not made of the material that they're supposed to be the value of. I've just gotten a bunch of it. A bunch of money. That's nice. The storyteller's fingers caress the symbol, shaped like a tree leaf. And what is this? I hear the voices of trees, smell the scent of fresh leaves. A dryad mark, is it not? I would be happy to purchase it for you. Oh, and now you don't tell me the story. Aw, why did you tell me the story of coins and not tell me the nice things? Anyway, the storyteller idly toys with the ancient, plain-looking coin. I got another one. What was the name of the Coloran ruler who issued this coin? Does anyone remember now? What did the Cyclopses use it for to purchase? Food, books, weapons, perhaps someone's life or their freedom? Who can say? Its history was erased by the Earthfall. A cataclysmic event many, many years ago. Negative Hey, why do you have AR? Sure. But I will buy it from you for significant... Or maybe that's not negative years. That is negative years. What a weird notation. I will buy it from you for a lot of money, thank you. There's a soldier stag. A soldier does not ask where the banners of war are headed. He or she goes to battle, dies, and leaves it to others to decide whether the cause was just. Indeed. This stag belonged to one of the many warriors who helped establish the glory of the Taldan Empire. If you would permit me, I would gladly purchase it from you for 1,500. It's pretty good for a dog tag, basically. Does it actually... No, it just says stag. I saw a video once on YouTube about the origins of soldier tags, and I'm pretty sure it was World War One. But I don't remember who made the video or anything, so look it up if you're interested. I can't say anything about that, though. The belongings of brave heroes, he says. I didn't... Well, it's just... Maybe that's a continuation of that. Who performed their feats here before you. I sense you would be interested to hear their story. Oh, yeah, I would. These lands took many lives and spawned many legends. I can now tell you of a distant expedition undertaken by a group of brevic heroes. Aha, the pure tale shows itself. You're already trying to sway me in their favor. I will judge whether they are heroes or not. To a place known as the Drowned Trees. He says, I would be happy to trade the whole set of items for their story. Can you hear it calling to us? Let us hurry. Okay, tell me about the drowned trees if we are in such a hurry. Also, what am I actually... Oh, I'm giving a ranger's broken arrow, a broken crossbow. Oh, that's what I picked up. That's good. So he tells the story. Also giving me money, not just the story, and experience, which is way more important than anything right now. I hear rowlocks creaking, he says. River water splashing, bushes rustling, and arrows singing through the air. I feel an invincible will, a cold resolution to finish what's been started, no matter the cost. Get on with the story, old man. My chain armor clings to my body. Oh, no, he's... Oh. He is relating the memory. He's chain armor... He's like the story of the soldier who died. And that's why he goes on about it being pure. Maybe. I suppose. That's interesting. I like it. I think somebody told me that in the comments. I just didn't really connect all the dots. Anyway. And my young hands grip a sword tightly. I am the leader of a group of brave souls set off to the stolen lands to clear them from bandits once and for all. We sail on a large freight boat. It serves as a bait for the bandits who keep throwing themselves at it, only to find death. A death as inglorious as the life they've lived. From time to time we manage to capture a prisoner. While our inquisitor talks to them, I go to the stern, shutting my ears to their cries. Because I'm a gentle soul, never mind the fact that I'm... That is such a weird thing. You just said that you insulted their death, and right as you insult their life, and now you don't want to hear them cry as they get tortured, obviously. This guy, or girl, I don't actually know, because he's the memory. I remind myself that these are scum, drenched in blood to the elbow. I think upon our cause, freedom for my homeland, an independent Frostland. But still my goosebumps rise with each pitiful cry. Actually, that sort of makes sense. I must still myself and be strong. Yeah, it sort of makes sense. He might be stilling himself as well when he's insulting them over here. In the memory, of course. It's just sort of, he's already reminding himself here of how they are terrible scum and... Yes, and also, of course, this all loops back to the fact that soldiers must trust on somebody else to decide whether, you know, their victims are, or I say victims, I mean their targets are victims or are judged. Let's put it like that, are rightful or wrongful in regards to the thing. So why do you question the prisoners? The bandits attacking our boat are small fry. We're looking for their main lair, a place known as the Drowned Trees. We seek the leaders of the bandits, an underwater monster named Dargut Droon, and we will not leave without his head. And who's in your group? A paladin, a ranger, a sorceress, a priest, an inquisitor, and me, a fighter. All experienced combatants. Over and over we've saved each other's lives in times of need. Have there always been so many bandits in the Stolen Lands? This land swarms with them, and we meet them more often than common merchants. You see, we started a rumor that the Aldori sword lords are using this boat to sneak treasures out of the country. Now half the gangs in the area are hunting us. Please continue. Yeah, yeah. So that's how you're trying to get to the big guys, because of course these are all small fry. Interesting. At night, it seems the whole army is attacking our boat. Far too many for us to fend off, but luckily we don't have to. While they battle monsters we've summoned in a pitch-black magical darkness, we drink the potions we've prepared and dive under the water. The scum break into the hold, but instead of treasure, they find their final surprise, the work of a Restovic alchemist. A trap! A dozen barrels of highly explosive oils. We watch from a safe distance as the boat is blown to pieces in a deafening explosion. Everything has gone according to plan. The more who die here, the fewer will meet in the drowned trees. Actually, if you can breathe underwater, you could be just below the... Well, actually, it wouldn't do you any good, but they could be just underwater below the boat. It would explode and they wouldn't get anything, because explosions don't travel through water. At all, basically. They don't, yeah, they just don't, yeah. They could, like, if they were about a meter below water, they might get a little bit of an impact, but yeah, that's why tides and waves only exist at the top of the water, and you can feel them while underwater. Although, of course, there's currents, but that's a different thing. We marched through the forest, then camped to regain our strength. That you should just keep marching and camp at the end. That's how the game works anyway. Their nasty clothes. Our Inquisitor discovered everything, even the location of their secret base. Today we rest. Tomorrow the Bandit King will draw his final breath. What kind of a secret entrance? An underwater path winding along the swamp bottom. We had potions to breathe freely underwater. We couldn't see beyond our outstretched arms in the muddy water, and there were plenty of traps along the way, but the Inquisitor learned all the signs that marked the safe passage. At least we believed she did. Even if you sneak into the bandit camp unseen, how will you handle them? Each of us is worth 24 in battle. Besides, we are well prepared. Chaos, confusion, and summoned monsters will be on our side. And fire, a lot of fire. I love it. I love it. Please continue. We trudge through muddy waters. Suddenly, a giant log studded with blades falls from above. I managed to stagger back, but the paladin who walked alongside me is now a gory sight, spread thin across the ground. It's a good thing the blades didn't do anything. It was just the log, because he got spread. The next moment, a monstrous creature emerges from the darkness, a twisted cross between fish and monkey. Its clawed hand reaches out, effortlessly melting away the Inquisitor's flesh, then ripping out her heart. This is the king of the bandits, Dargut Drun. The bandit we'd captured did not lie, but the secret passage he spoke of led right into the underwater lair of his master. I bury my terror deep in my soul. Which you probably have plenty of, considering you were afraid of screams before. There was no time for weakness. There were only 4 of us left, and we are gasping for air by the time the freak's lifeblood stains the water. We leave the beheaded body on dry land, then retreat and recover. Only now I allow my hands to tremble, my breath to race unbidden, my tears to flow. Because I suppose of the Inquisitor who died. She wasn't good anyway. She was torturer. What kind of monster was this Dargut Drun? Well, fish and monkey. They say he was once a normal human, but he offended a powerful Fae. I once knew what Fae was, but I don't remember now what it is. She cursed him, turning him into a monster. I think I learned that in The Witcher 1. Maybe I'm wrong. But one bestowed with the ability to breathe underwater and melt human flesh with his touch. With these powers, he became the Bandit King. Do you find anything useful in Dargut's lair? Oh, yes. The Bandit King was a true collector of magical items. We lost 2 of our friends, but what we found there would help us finish what we started. So the bandit wanted to set you up, but he played right into your hands? You could say so. You did lose your Inquisitor, and the other dude as well. Dargut Drun didn't expect an armed party to appear there before him, but we were too unprepared for the encounter. The bandit's lie cost both sides dearly. Yes, I suppose it's called a Pyrrhic victory, I think. Maybe I'm wrong on that. The next night, we return the same way. We swim up the surface and quietly gather our bearings. Above us loom the drowned trees, enormous dead trunks emerging from the water, bridges crisscrossing their branches. The air is filled with the sounds of battle, having lost their king. My God, you use that after a period? This writer really likes the dashes. Having lost their king, the bandits now battle each other for the power, and we are ready to join the fight. We leave at dawn. Are you ready to join, or are you... Yeah, apparently they're gonna join. I thought you were... Oh, I suppose you want to kill them while they're fighting. That's a good idea. Only 4 of you, though. You better hope that it's less than 48 of them. We leave at dawn, because you get it, because they said about a dozen thing. We leave at dawn behind us. Smoke rises up to the sky. The bandit nest smolders and blazes. Only 2 of us remain. The priest and I. We've won, but this victory tastes of ash. It's all the smoke. Cinders and swamp ooze. I ask him, tell me, Esvanki. Esvanki. That name is not unfamiliar. Was it worth it? He puts his hand on my shoulder and says, yes, Jamandi. Oh. Wait a minute. That's interesting. I like that it's revealed at the end. I don't remember who Esvanki is. I have my notebook over here with the name of the person I must murder and destroy absolutely because of my list. I don't know which page it is anymore. I think it might be further up. Natala Surtova. That's the one. So it's not Esvanki. Jamandi, though, we know who it is. It's our liege, I believe. I think she is our liege. Or maybe not. I think so. Anyway, now the stolen lands will be ours. I wish I believed him. The storyteller heaves a sigh, runs his hands over his face, and rubs his temples. Thus, the expedition of the drowned trees came to an end. I must admit it was no easy feeling for me to stand in the place of this daring woman. The steel of her soul was colder than ice. Well, yeah, for a little bit. If Jamandi has once cleared the stolen lands of bandits, why must we do it all over again? The death of Dargut Droon and the destruction of the drowned trees weakened the bandits, but not for long. The paladin who died was a noble. It was he who was supposed to claim the stolen lands and send his troops, while Jamandi sought another candidate or a priest capable of performing a resurrection ritual. A new bandit leader emerged in the destroyed fortress on the banks of the Tuskwater. Within the year, the stolen lands were swarming with gangs once more. So, is this the story of Jamandi Aldori? She's still alive. Some people become legends in their own lifetime. Jamandi has performed many glorious feats, and there may yet be more ahead. Hint, hint. Nudge, nudge. Foreshadowing a little bit, maybe. Yeah, there may yet be. She's a major character, all things considered. So yeah, thank you for your story. And you might notice that that was all already seen. I had to make a little cut because the recording got corrupted. Don't worry. Yeah, so we got that conversation there anyway. So I'll leave you to your legends till we meet again. The storyteller is an answer. And there we go. That's gonna be that for today. Thank you so much for joining me for more Pathfinder Kingmaker. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, go ahead and leave a comment. Like the video if you want to see the next episode come out sooner rather than later. But above all, thank you so much for watching, and I hope I'll see you next episode. Bye-bye.